Peace, everyone. How are you? I'll be right back. I want to grab some while everyone checks on in. Be right back. What's up, y'all? How is everyone? I'm not going to stay on long tonight at all. I just felt led to like chime in because I'm feeling like that there's heavy energies out there, and I want to see like who I can help. I'm great. How are you? Um, I feel fine. I'm great. I'm just I'm just like in this place where I'm really tapped in to the universe, and I really feel like there's so many of you out there who need assistance. And I don't know if you guys heard my story before about how I shared with everyone about like Antarctica. I'll do like another like quick video on it, but there's something that's like really about to hit our planet, and I don't know if you are ready for what's about to happen, but I just wanted to make sure that with you being a part of this community, that you're aware and you're up on game with everything. Um, Make sure that you have extra blankets. Remember what happened with the Indians when the Indians didn't have extra blankets and there was like smallpox or whatever that kicked in, when they try to go get blankets elsewhere. And then look at the history of history. You know, we can learn a lot from history, right? So I just want to make sure that, you know, I don't know, I was trying to rest and I was actually really worried about a lot of you out there, and hoping that you have been listening to me over the past, goodness, at least 3 years I've been talking about this, but really strongly since January, I've really been pushing the fact that, you know, I've been saying, guys, make sure that you have something if you can't leave the house for a few months, you know, make sure that you're not prepared, that you don't have to go down and you have to step in some lines and stand in some lines and you're not okay. Um, I just want you to pay close attention to your diets. Make sure that your diets are on lock. Um, I'm telling you right now that if you're eating meat, and I know that meat is really tough for a lot of you to just break that, um, but if you're eating meat, a tip for eating meat is if you are having the craving and you can't stop eating meat, then what will break the craving of that meat is egg whites. Okay, so that will actually help you if you cannot absolutely stop eating meat. But I'm really telling you that it's so important for you to take care of your diet, because what you do now can make a difference tomorrow, can make a difference later on. And I know many of you are so used to eating a specific type of way, and then you have children that are in your house and you're just like, well, I can't control what they eat, they're going to eat whatever they want to eat. But if you're the one that's purchasing the food, then only purchase the foods that you want them to eat, and then they will have no choice but to eat what it is that you purchase. Um, but make sure that you're in a position to where if something was to happen right now, like something like the only thing we can do from history is learn from it, right? So say something was to happen right now, like Hurricane Katrina, 9/11, things of that nature. If something like that was to go down right now, are you prepared to not have to go stand in line, even in Houston, even in Texas, um, Louisiana, all types of things that has happened in history. Make sure that you're in a position to where you don't have to go stand in a line, and even if you say that you can't afford it, there's Dollar Trees and dollar stores everywhere, and you can go buy 20 different canned foods for 20 days. And if four of you have to share that one canned food for 20 days, at least try to prep yourself. If, say, if you had to stay inside for 3 months or you had to stay inside for 6 months, are you prepared to, you know, to weather the storm? And I've been, for those of you who have taken my portals, you already know, you're already prepared. And I really trust that what I have shown you, that each and every one of you are in training, you're ready to get down. You already know what's up. For those of you who have not taken my classes at all I can say is hopefully you have built a relationship with your angels, with your guides, to where they will give you instructions on what it is that you are to do next. Um, I'm not spreading any type of fear tactics. That's not what I do at all. But one of my dreams just started coming up all over again. And one of the dreams that I shared on here before, it was about me being in Antarctica. And Antarctica is the brain hub. It's the brain hub for all of the, there's over 600,000 different type of shadow beings that walk our planet right now. So Antarctica is the brain hub for this specific grid. And I will say that there are crystalline beings that reside there. And these specific crystalline beings, when I walk with them and when I talk with them, they were speaking with me and sharing with me how America is in some really, really, really serious trouble. Shortly after that, I had a dream how the poles have shifted, and places that were normally hot were cold, and places that were normally cold were hot. But it shifted so much to where Chicago, for example, and other surrounding cities and states. This could be anywhere. It doesn't necessarily have to be Chicago. My point is just to, put you in a position to where you'll be prepared. But Chicago, for example, was completely frozen. And it was frozen so much to where every single house, home, car, everything was completely frozen. The doors were frozen. It was frozen with a complete blanket of ice. People were frozen inside of their homes, okay? It was so cold that the heating system completely broke. So wherever you're at, even if you're in a hot climate, don't feel that you're exempt from this, because this is going to shock like a lot of people. So if you're inside and you're saying, okay, I'm fine because I'm inside, well, part of this specific shift is going to be where people, even when I was walking through my dream and I was looking inside of the homes, inside of the mirrors, people were in like their rocking chairs, especially the seniors are going to be really, really, really affected by this. They were in their rocking chairs. There was water that was running, and the water was coming down out of the pipe, like from the kitchen sink, and that was completely frozen. Um, there are there were people that had blankets and the blanket wasn't enough because they had one or they didn't have enough blankets in their homes. The heating system was completely shut down. People didn't have water. They ran out of water. The water was even frozen. Um, they ran out of food. So there's a website that I used to first start training my daughters for preparation. My children, they are pretty Girl Scoutish, but military type Girl Scoutish. So they know what to do, in emergency situations. Um, my question to you is, do your children know what to do? If you have your children going off to school, did you, teach your children about a plan A? Um, or if you can't get across town, like say you live far, are your children used to walking? Have you been training your children to walk long distance? What about yourself? Have you been training yourself to walk long distance? Um, I guess I started a long time ago. When I was 8, I've been preparing for whatever this is that's coming. If you have jugs in your home, have you been even pouring water, even if you can't afford to go out and get some water or purchase some water? Just, take the jugs in your home, the empty jugs, and just fill those up with water and put those under the sink. Um, Look up under FEMA right now. Under their website, they have emergency packages for emergency disaster preparedness plans. What about your pets? Do you have extra food put away for your pets, your seniors? If you have seniors that live, up certain flights of stairs and the stairs are like really high up, do you have a plan B? Do you know how to get them down those stairs? Um, what about if all the phone systems were completely shut down and you could not get a hold of anyone whatsoever, your friends, your family, your loved ones, your children? Do you know how to communicate to them? Do you know? Because right now, honestly, if you really look around, everyone's in their phone. So if something was to happen right now, so many people are you're preoccupied with the wrong things. You're preoccupied with, does this person love me? Where are they at? My thing is, the people that are to be around you when this event happens, they're around you now. Don't focus so much on if someone loves you or if they're going to be around for you, because my thing is, if they really love you like that and they really care about your well-being, they would be there right by your side. They will make sure that if this world ends right now, it ends today, that they'll be right by your side and you won't have to worry about, oh my gosh, we have 3 days of darkness and where are they? There's a few different type of disasters that are coming. Um, One of them, I can't explain it. It's too scrambled for me to even try to comprehend it. But I do know for sure the first two. One is a frost. It's like um, like a frost, like the entire area, the entire US just becomes frozen like Antarctica, okay? So, and like everything just stops, completely stops. Nothing can move. It's the streets are too frozen for the cars to drive. No one can move, none of that. Even places that are normally hot weather places, those places become places where you cannot even drive through, okay? So that's like a cold freeze. The other one is, well, actually, I do know them. The other one is the 3 days of darkness. But what this one is, it's a complete electronic grid shutdown. And the complete grid shutdown makes everything just completely black, completely dark. Okay. So once everything goes completely dark, We're all used to using our phones. We're used to using our computers. We're used to using electronics. So, what will everyone do when you're in skyrise buildings and they can't get down elevators? We've been in training. I've been hinting in so many ways and trying to show you how to prepare, but without saying it so much to try to keep you in a spook mode. Um, if if the electronic grid shuts down, the electricity grid shuts down, there will be no gas stations that are able to give you gas because the gas pumps are electric. Um, so that's two. That's the second shutdown. Okay, that's the second event, should I say? So there we have an electric grid shutdown where it's just complete blackness, complete darkness. And there is something like this that happened in 2003 in New York. And in the New York area, there was over 50,000 people or 500,000 people without electricity, without any type of electricity. So people were walking, they had to abandon their cars. The entire bridges were filled with people, and there was, loitering, all that. That's the darkness. So, for example, um, and then the other one is a bug. It's like it's a flu outbreak, a major, massive flu outbreak. And this specific flu outbreak, it's like the movie Outbreak. This is another part where I was sharing with you how I quote specific biblical verses because there are codes in these specific verses, and the Bible verses were taken out of other books, but they were taken out of other books. But I try to break it down to you in the actual meaning versus the code. And as I share with each and every one of you, the code is apotheology as well as gematria. Um, and then also the words from the Bible, if you hear someone say it's not true, it is true because the words, people have manifested the words to have power, and words have energy and power. So there is a lot of science behind biblical scriptures. But there will be an illness, a really bad illness that will come over the land. And I'm not sure if it only will affect the U.S. Um, the UK is very probable. Japan is also very probable. Um, and Japan, in their own little way, they've already been going through some major disasters with Fukushima, things of that nature, because they have been eating the dolphins, and the dolphins are the nomos, which are basically the ancestral energy. So the nomos are from star Sirius, right? So the nomos show the way. They show the way. They shared the knowledge with the Dogons. The Dogons were the ones that ended up sharing the information with all of Queen Elizabeth, that whole tribe, and that's why the little continent, just as small as Wales and Scotland, was able to take over planet Earth with all their information. Okay, so there's an illness that's coming over the land, and this illness is going to be so huge and so massive that it's going to wipe out a really great majority of the population. And it's going to be so severe that once there's a cleanup, they're going to have to come through like the movie Outbreak, where they had to purge the fields. They had to clean up the fields with fire to purge the bodies. It's like almost like America or like the UK, places like that where we're not really used to it looking like a third world country. Will look like a third world country. This bug, this illness is already slowly going on now. You don't notice it because it's not a mass of it happening. But there are already specific people that are already sick. They already have this bug. They already have specific traits and triggers within their system of a bug. If you notice, there are specific people that are walking around and you'll just hear them. They'll just have this chronic cough. You could even have the chronic cough. You just cough, like you don't know why you're coughing. You're just coughing. That means that there's already a pre-substance, a set off within your system of this bug. Um, if you even do research on meat, like there's a video on YouTube, it's called Meet Your Meat. That's one of them. But if you do research on meat, they will share with you how there's over at least 25,000 different pharmaceuticals that are injected inside of the meat. But this is what is breaking down your immune system. So basically, even recently, they were talking about how even Drake, if you've noticed, Drake has not put out a song lately. And that's because he was down almost for 6 months with a major flu bug that he's just barely getting back from. And it's not just Drake. This flu has already been slowly sweeping the land. It's already been slowly, building up. So it's like a buildup, right? And then you have to think about, see, I master numbers. So I love math. I look at math. I break down math, sacred geometry, etymology, the words, and I love scrambles. I love to, I don't know what's up with my brain, but I mathematically begin to put things together like a puzzle that are in sacred realms. And what's deep to me is how you even have to look at it how it's 2018. 2018 is an 11, right? 11 is the master spiritual vibration. And then you also have to look at how there's the twin flames that are coming into union. The twin flames that are coming into union, they're not here just to come into union, just to be in love with each other. The main reason, the ultimate reason that twin flames are coming together is because they have done that inner work. They have purged themselves. They have cleared themselves. They are the ones who are going to be the Josephs for their families. They're going to be the ones, the ambassadors of the new earth. They're going to be the ones that have really already been through hell their whole entire life. They're the ones who have already been in training for this. So they're going to be the ones that are going to be strong and put in a specific position to help those out there who were laughing at them while they were the ones that were, going through a whole bunch of trials and tribulations in life, and they were being rejected by their families and dogged and mistreated. These are the ones that were being purged. They were already being refined and molded like a potter's clay to prepare for what it is that is about to hit the land. So when you see this wave, or when you hear of a wave of twins that are about to come into union, there's a reason behind that. The reason that the twins are about to come into union is because something's about to happen on the land. And the reason that the twins had to be prepared for this, and this is why it was so important for each individual, divine feminine and divine masculine, to do that work within themselves, because when your beloved has a gift, your twin has a gift, you have a gift. But if your twin has to go out and there is no phones, there's no communication, there is no way that you can contact them, and they may have to be on foot, to travel from Florida to California for a year. And if you don't hear from them for a year, you can't freak out and say, oh my God, they're cheating on me. What are they doing? I bet you he's with that bitch. I mean, no, it's not about that at all. It's about you doing that inner work so much on yourself to where you have become so strong that you're ready to stand as a soldier on the land to help so many people who are going to be brokenhearted and hurt and sick and ill and endangered. And those who have done that work as twin flames know that if their beloved has to travel on foot for a year and they're away from them, they're not really away from them, because they have perfected themselves to the point to where they're able to speak to each other telepathically. So when they say that there is no division, there is no division. Thanks, beloved. There is no division. There is no separation. And that separation is coming from you first doing that work within yourself, because one of the first things that even my twin made me aware of was, if you're too busy like chasing them, then you have your guard down. Who's going to watch the gates? Who's going to be able to protect you? If they need your help, say your twin could be somewhere in a whole other state, and there is no way that you can call 911 because all the numbers and everything is down. All the phones are down. The only 911 that's going to go down during this time is going to be 911 in the spiritual realm. And if you have not been in fine tune with your ancestors, your way showers, your guides, and you have not built that relationship with them, it's going to be foreign to you to even know how to send help to your twin. You can do galactic battle to help your twin sitting right there in the comfort of your home. Your twin could be somewhere overseas. And if your twin is in danger, you can sit there and go within your mind and help your twin fight a game like Galactic Battlestar. And you and your twin can kick ass merely because of your vibration, because you knowing who you are, because of your powers. But if you're so busy worried about, where they're at, if they're with someone else, and you're sending there comes a time where we have to stop. There comes a time where we have to stop so much damnation within ourselves and stop that emotional roller coaster within ourselves and stop that damnation of blaming our twin for everything, saying it's our twin's fault that I'm lonely right now and they're not here, and where are they, and how dare they leave me. Did it not occur to you that the reason that your twin is not around you is because there is some work that still needs to be done on you? And if your twin was in the way, then that would be a complete distraction to you to even go deep within and to get to know yourself. But instead of you looking at it like that, you're looking at it through anger and rage, which should already be a red flag to you right there. And you're saying, fine, if he's not going to come around and love me, if she's not going to come around and love me, I'm just going to call in a soulmate. Well, then you're still prolonging the union because you're defeated. The purpose is defeated. The whole point of your twin not being around you is for you to even learn your superpowers within yourself, for you to learn what it is that you need to learn. As remember, even Wonder Twin, remember that cartoon? For those of you who are old enough, there was a cartoon called Wonder Twins. And they used to say, even though they say they were brothers and sisters, twins were brothers and sisters at one point in time in their life, okay? So they say, Wonder Twin powers activate. So if you and your twin ain't got no powers to activate because you're too busy angry with them, they're already hurting. The last thing that your twin needs is to feel your anger. The last thing that your twin needs is to feel you throwing shade at them because they can't be around right now because of you. And that you're the exact reason why they're not around, because there's something that's within you that you have to purge from, because there is something that's coming up on the land right now. And you need to be shown what your true powers are. And instead of you showing what your true power being shown and what your powers are, and instead of you sitting still enough to recognize, like, wait, what else is there within me? I thought I had it. I thought I was good enough. I thought that I was worthy enough. You are. But there comes a time where you have to stop blaming everybody. First, you were blaming your mom for not giving you the life that you wanted her to give you. Then you start blaming your dad for not being there. Then you start blaming your sisters and brothers for pulling your hair. And then you're blaming all the kids in high school because nobody liked you and everybody's picking on you. When you going to blame yourself? When you going to take blame and take responsibility for your own actions, your own behavior that's causing the very lessons that you need to grow within your life to help you be strong? This is an hour. And this is the hour where when you heard those affirmations, this is a game. And in Only the strong survive. So is it strength to complain all the time? Is it strength to come from I've learned even on my journey that I have to watch complaining, because complaining, first of all, it pisses me off when I complain, because now I'm tapping into the energies of why I'm mad. And I had to learn, like, okay, I can't get mad at that, but I have to see what it's teaching me and see why it's happened in the first place. And then the more you complain, the more you cause more stuff to happen to you. And there are people that come around you in your life to help you. And instead of you realizing that they're here to help you, instead of you realizing that they're a lesson for you, many of y'all want to look around and just hate on people. It's like hate has become like the new game. It's become the new trend. Hating, backbiting, backstabbing. What happened to love thy neighbor as you love that yourself? Does anybody even speak to their neighbor? If anything happened right now, do you even know what your neighbor is? Have you even talked to your neighbor and said, okay, if something happens, I know we haven't really talked since I lived here, but there's a lot happening in the world. And if something happens right now, do my children have permission to come to your house for emergencies if I have not come by yet? Or if we run out of food, maybe we can share food, or we have some food and you have the water. Maybe we can get together because you have the barbecue pit. But we don't do that. We're too busy fighting each other. And I know we're fighting each other because we're fighting ourselves, truth be told. So when you think that you're fighting your neighbor, when you think that you're hating on someone else, you're not. And that's what this whole journey is about. It's not about, is this person going to come in my life? Are they going to love me? My thing is this, and this is the conclusion I've come up to, is that at least I was able to meet them in this lifetime. At least I was able to come across them. And at least by me meeting them and by me coming across them has put me in a position to appreciate the fact that so many people will never, ever get to find love. Some people can't even cry. And you're lucky enough to cry, but you complain about your tears. Some people can't cry. Some people can't smile. Some people can't walk. Somebody didn't eat today. Somebody hasn't eaten since last month. Somebody lost their life today. Somebody lost a family member, the love of their life today. Someone lost a grandma today. Something happened to where if you really were a fly on the wall in someone else's life, you'll realize that the grass is not greener on the other side. You have so many blessings and blessings and abundance around you that if you just stop complaining, maybe, just maybe, you will end up lifting up the negativity of that vibration, and you will end up being in a position to where you'll realize, like, wait, I haven't complained about nothing in a while. Oh, wait, that's why I won the lotto. Or that's why I found this $10 bill. Or that's why this guy just came along and just gave me a tow for my car, and I didn't even have to call a tow company, and that would have cost me $300 because I didn't complain. Your words have energy and power, and the things that happen to you in your life are because of your affirmations. They're because of your thoughts. It's not because of someone outside of you. And your enemies are your inner me's. Those are little minions around you, or which are yous outside of you, which is showing you what you need to do to grow, to heal, to learn, to love. But instead of you looking at it like that, you're looking at it wrong. You're looking at it like, I'm mad, I'm angry, I'm pissed off, I'm sick and tired. What? You're sick and tired. You know why? Because you still keep looking outside of yourself for love. You still keep looking outside of yourself for validation. You still keep looking outside of yourself for acceptance. And until you learn to accept yourself, you're going to continue to draw in energies from other people outside of you who are not going to see your worth because you don't even see your own worth. So there comes a time, and this is why there's a great purging that's going on the land. The old earth we can't keep this up, y'all. We can't keep this up. If y'all knew remotely what was even possibly happening to so many of the children on the land and so many of the seniors, like, people have forgotten about seniors. They stuck them in nursing homes. They don't even go visit them anymore. And half the nursing homes just make it look all pretty on the outside and look all fancy, and they give them these fancy blankets to cover them in, like, oh, you're gonna have a visitation. Well, if I'm gonna have a visitation, why are they putting the seniors in the bed when the visitation time is and they cover them up? That's because they're filled with bed sores and body aches and abuse. And if you spent more than 30 minutes inside of a nursing home, if you spent a 6 hour to 8 hour day, you would see what I'm talking about. If you spent time even with your children, you realize that your children have already been telling you what's going on. If you were asking them about your dreams, like I've been telling you for a long time, ask your children about your dreams. Their dreams, there are signs, there's wonders in their dreams. There are signs and wonders in your dreams, but you can't even remember your dream because your brains are decalcified, your pineal systems are calcified. And when your pineal systems are calcified, you cannot remember your dreams. You forget your dreams. You don't even have knowledge of self, because if you had knowledge of self, you would love thy neighbor as you loved yourself. You would love your enemies as you love yourself, because you would recognize that those are just lower vibrational versions of you that are showing you what it is that you either need to heal or what it is that you need to grow. I was in the Uber today, and the Uber driver almost got into an accident 4 times because he was too busy paying attention to me for some reason on the phone. In my conversation, he almost cried, and then he almost hit a couple of people too. And then where I live, it's like you go underground, but then the GPS system starts messing up and you get all confused when you have to go on the bridge to come back up. So he asked me like, which way do I go? And I was like, well, because I got kind of confused myself because I didn't recognize where I was at. So I'm like, you make a left here, make a left. And then I'm like, no, you make it right, you make it right. He goes, see, that's what I told you. I told you to tell me which way to go. And I was looking, I was like, look, man, like you'll be yelling at your customers, first of all. But the reason it didn't bother me at all is because he was a senior. And I automatically knew, okay, he's right at that stage where the seniors get to when they should really stop driving, and they're right at that stage to where, you know, it's about time for him to put up his license now. But the fact that he was a senior made me even that much more patient with him. So, you know, I had to show, okay, you go up this way, and then when you go out, I had to even tell him once I even left the Uber, okay, you gotta make a U-turn and go out that way and go back down the street. That's how you get out. So, and then I recognized something even within myself, that I'm not even in a place where I was angry. Like back in the day, I would have been cussing him out, like, who the hell you think you're talking to, man? Like, dude, you got me all messed up. And then it made me think, like, there's a lot of y'all out there who are angry, and y'all would have responded that way, especially because we're in the energies of this Aries full moon. And so many of y'all have been feeling like angry and mad and disappointed and pissed off. Don't forget to ground yourself. Go out in the grass. Go touch the tree. Remember everything I taught you. I try to teach you everything I could within my power. I'm behind on my books. I'm behind on my music. I'm behind on me in so many ways because I have so many projects that I want to do that are coming out. But then I feel pulled to come in to help you because I know you need reminders. But even if you go back on my channels, even my old videos from a year ago, if you go back and listen to those, some of those readings are applying to right now. Just because a reading has a date on it, it doesn't mean that it doesn't apply to you. It only applied during that date. Some of those readings are applying right now. Remember, we're in a time loop. So I just wanted to come on here and just see where you're at, because I can talk till I'm blue in the face, but if you don't take the initiative to help yourself, then what I'm doing is pointless. It's futile. It's like there comes a time where, fine, let's search the internet, let's see what's going on with your beloved, let's find out where they're at. But then have you not noticed that after a while that's boring as hell? Like, if you're spending all that time trying to worry about where Bay is at, that means that you're not spending time trying to worry about where you're at. It's time that you start looking within yourself and really doing that inner work to heal yourself, to love yourself, and to treat yourself with majesty. And it's just it's hurtful to me, because I just want everyone to be okay. I just want everybody to get it. I just don't want anyone fighting. I don't want to force anyone to be in my life or in a relationship with me. If they don't feel like they want to be in a relationship with me, then that's fine. That's everyone has their right. It's like we've all come to this place where we're like, everyone has the right to come into union with us, but then if they put themselves in a position where they're like, I don't want to be in a relationship with you, then it's like you become bullies. We become bullies. Like, you don't have the right to make that decision. You don't have the right to say you don't want to be in my life. Like, isn't that bullying? Like, who are we? Who are we to force another being, force another soul and spirit upon this planet to say you're supposed to be with me, and if you don't want to be with me, damn you, you're wrong. Who are we? And what gave us the audacity and the right to even remotely feel that we had that much power over someone? Did you give birth to that person? And even if you did give birth to that person, you ain't supposed to be treating your children like that. And truth be told, you can love a person with all of your heart, all of your mind, all of your body, all of your soul. You could be the most beautiful person on the planet. You can have all the money in the world. You could be the most wealthiest person in the world. But if that person does not want to be with you, there is nothing you can do to change their mind. If they're not ready to be with you, there is nothing that you can do to change your mind. What does that mean for you? That means that that's just much more room for you to grow, for you to heal yourself, for you to love yourself, for you to take that time out with yourself. And then what you're going to realize is, instead of you taking all of your energy trying to fight to get someone to recognize, here I am, they see you. Instead of you taking all that energy, putting it out on someone else, you put that energy into yourself. And when you put that energy into yourself, you're going to recognize that all of a sudden, you're going to be able to manifest like crazy. You will become the master magician. And that's what the genie was about. In case you didn't know, the genie was about, you rising to that kundalini power. Remember the genie? Aladdin would sit there and, make a wish. Aladdin was floating, and this is what we're getting into astral travel, astral projection. You have so many powers that you don't even recognize that you have, because instead of you taking that energy, putting it into someone else, have you really thought about, there was a time where we could walk through walls. There was a time where not only we could walk through walls, but there was a time where we spoke to each other telepathically before there were phones, before there were cell phones. There was a time there were beepers, There's a time now you're still doing telepathically and you don't even realize that you're speaking telepathically, because all you can do is just think of a friend and say, wow, I need to call my friend. And you look down and your phone's ringing and it's your friend. That's telepathy. Okay? So there are some things that are coming on this land I spoke of. Okay? So we have the 3 days of darkness, right? But it's a little deeper than that. I'm going to just put it to you in layman terms, the way that you've heard it before, until I'm able to give you a full drop and a full download on that. Okay? But basically, it's a communication of the grid. Remember Trinity, the grid system, the lighting. Everyone's used to, well, can you imagine just if all the lights and electricity were turned off? Completely turned off. That's one. The other one is this cold front, this cold freeze that's coming over the land, okay? And just because you're in another country outside of the U.S., this also still applies to you, okay? So make sure that you get your blankets and make sure that you're able to, did you even learn how to start a fire? There's a site I was telling you about, it's called Monkey See. This is where I first started showing my daughters how to, prepare fires. Monkey See, or you can even pull this up. There's YouTube videos to where if you live in a climate where it snows, you can actually build an igloo. Say you're stuck outside, you can build an igloo out of snow and go underground in that snow and make it looks like a little igloo. You can do it. There's also, if you're stuck in a forest, do you know how to even watch for bear trappings? You got to look on the ground. Don't just walk. Look on the ground for bear poop, okay? And then also look on the trees that you're passing up, because the bears usually claw the trees. So if you look at the trees, you can tell which direction the bear is going in, and then you can go the opposite way, okay? And And then there's ways like where you could actually take sticks and like large sticks to little sticks to um, and then leaves to cover huts. You can make your own tents out of sticks. Um, and then there's a way that you can purify water or find water. You can even train yourself to, you know, like even the wise men or even the ancients. This is why I love the stars so much and astrology, things of that nature, because when you pay attention to the stars, you can, the stars are mapped. There's systems, not just with what's happening on the planet, but there's systems within you, what's happening within your system. This is why you don't just look at your sun, moon, and rising. You look at all the planetary systems, what systems within your natal chart, right? So that's one way. The other way is the planets and the alignment of the planets will tell you, you know, what's coming. Like, for example, we have a Venus retrograde that's coming up on October the 6th. Venus goes into retrograde. October 8th is my spiritual birthday. This is when every single year for as long as I can remember, Spirit has already done something very amazing in my life, and I've noticed this. So many of you may have noticed that your life goes through a major transformation during a certain time of year that's different than your birthday, because we have a birthday, then we have a spiritual birthday. Mine is October the 8th. And then October the 9th is the full moon in Libra. And so for those of you who have Libra, sun, moon, rising, Venus, or where's Libra in your chart, then you're going to be affected by this moon. And remember, the ruler of Libra is Venus. So here it is, we're in the retrograde of Venus where we're reflecting. So that's another example of just, you know, the planetary systems. The planets like even would show you maps, and this is why the wise men would follow the stars, you know, which way are the stars going, which way is the moon coming up, which way is the sun, you know, coming, in which direction it's coming from. It's very deep that we have the 3 days of darkness, and then also the illness that's coming on the land, to where there's going to be a massive sickness. But this is deep, everyone, especially with the illness part, because the sickness that's coming on the land, it's going to be huge, really bad, really, really bad. And I spoke to you guys about this, and those of you who've been following the channel for a while, you remember me saying this. And I mentioned it a couple of times, but I didn't want to keep mentioning it to you until I kept trying to hold back until we got close to that time. And it wasn't, I could have shared it with you sooner, but I was really hoping that you would listen to me, and I didn't want to just keep talking about it and then end up creating it to happen sooner and causing it to happen sooner. But this is something that has been written, not just in the stars, but foretold by the ancients. Even the rainbow prophecy goes into this. The blue Kachina star goes into this prophecy. The book of Thoth, the book of Bhagavad Gita, things of that nature goes into this. Biblical prophecies, the ancients foretold of these times. Now, even the illness that's coming over the land, it's going to be a wave of sickness, and it's going to be so bad that it's going to wipe out a good majority of the population. Now, what's going to happen with this is going to be so deep, right? It's going to be so deep to the point to where people, as they see people, you know, dropping and falling from this illness, they're going to start taking care of themselves. So now this is where the twins kick in. So now the twins, they're the healers. They're going to be like the new, you know, channelers, the new, well, not new, but the trained, because they've been trained by spirit already. The channelers, the tarot card readers, the astrologers, the Reiki healers, those of you who do chakra balancing, Reiki, masseuse therapy. So basically the caduceus that you see on the hospitals, which is Thoth, Okay, that whole science from Thoth has been abused. That specific type of medicine has been used to hurt, harm, and injure the population. So here it is. The enlightened ones are taking back that power. The power is that was part of the birthright, which is part of the transformation of wealth. And the transformation of wealth is not just monetary wealth, it is a healing wealth as well. And in this phase of the healing wealth, you're going to be given your powers. And this is why a lot of you have been noticing that you've been in training even more of monetizing your gifts. Okay. So monetizing your gifts, and your guides have even instructed you on stop giving your gifts away for free, because it's a transformation of energy. Not only that, that's your gift. You've been told that your gift will make room for you. And also with what's happening, people are going to completely stop like jobs, working for other people. The only way that you're really going to be able to survive is, what are your gifts? You may, sell crystals. You may give massage therapy, and someone may not, the hospitals are going to be obsolete. There's going to be hospitals, but the hospitals are going to turn into chakra hospitals. There's going to be shaman, like emergency centers, things like that. There's going to be like oracle, like people are going to try to get to the oracles and try to really see the oracles. So people like that are real huge, like the 1%ers, they're going to be trying to like kidnap the people that are like really seeing into the stars, because it's going to go back to how it was in the ancient times, where they're going to be like, tell me my future and what it is I see, except spirit has a sacred block upon the oracles, the seers, the way showers, the healers. They have special protection over them, to where the specific group of beings that to be elite, or the elite officials, should I say, that's the way you know them, they have to get permission from higher up even to come near you or to come touch you. Now, if they do come near you and they do touch you, that's only because they've been given permission from higher up. So there's nothing to fear. So don't feel as if there's something for you to fear, but know that if they take you in a specific vicinity, there are people there that you have to heal and that you have to help. But you've already been trained for this, okay? So there's the darkness, which is the electric grid going down. There is the sickness that's coming over the land. And the sickness is going to be so spread out, so massive, that people, after they see this happen, they're just going to keep trying to, the people are going to, all of a sudden, you're going to see the whole world. All of a sudden, the new trend is going to be health. It's going to be health. Everyone's going to try to stay healthy. And when they try to stay healthy, also meditation is going to be huge. Like you think you're having a problem now meditating? No, meditating is going to be like the number one form of therapy, because everyone's going to be trying to tap into their specific chakra vibrations, because your aura field is already an energy field. And within this energy field, you can tap into, this is how, like when you see someone's aura, you see their color, like what color is their aura. You'll be able to tap, this is the phone, your phone line. Your hair is antennas. Your eyes are cameras. Your mind, your subconscious mind is a VCR. So basically, like, the way that it's happening right now, even with the twins are already speaking telepathy. They're already talking to each other telepathically. They feel each other. They know when the other one's hurt. They know when the other one's upset. They know when the other one's angry or crying. And for those of you who still need to get to that phase of inner work, when your twin is angry or they're hurt, you'll automatically start feeling this energy of, I hate them. I can't stand them. And I just wish I never met them. What it is, you're picking up on their energy of how they feel, but they don't feel that way about you. They're just hurt because things are happening within their life. But then you'll pick up the energy as, I can't stand them. I hate them. And what that's showing you, that's a like a inner signal within your heart chakra going off to show you what you need to heal. But there are those that are ready for union, like right now, ready for union. And these are the ones I like to call, there's waves, but they're the ones I like to call the first responders, because we have learned that the waves of union is first union with self, union with spirit, union with self, and then union with your twins. So the first responders, twins, right? They feel very much in a place of, let's say they feel at peace. And even if there's one twin that is hurt or still going through something, or still at that part of their purging where they just came into some type of awareness that, the gurus or the people that they were following or they really attached onto weren't who they thought they were, the enlightened twin is not upset with them. The enlightened twin feels very strong about the other twin, to where they'll allow them their space. They recognize they need to heal, but they still send them love. They talk to each other. Like the enlightened twin will talk to the twin that's hurt, like, what's the matter, babe? Like, you're okay. Everything's fine. We got this. We can do this. And just that healing words, those affirmations, and that vibration is very mothering to the other twin. And what that's doing, it's like it's a suckle, like the baby sucks on the mother's bosoms, and the baby's transforming life to the mother as the mother is transforming life to the baby. Same thing with the twins. The twins have stages of their union. So there's a mother stage, with the bonding, with that suckle, with the, it's okay, baby, you're okay, like the mother comforting a child. And then there's that bond of the, the husband and wife type of, love making vibration. And then there's also that childlike playfulness where they love to play together and joke with each other. Then there's another stage of like the grandparent stage, where they start getting very serious, and one is very serious and the other one may not be very serious. So there is different. So in other words, when you're at that twin flame stage, you're at that stage of embodiment of all of the energy. So you will feel that you're their mother, I'm just going to take the feminine energy because this can apply for the masculine as well. Okay. So you'll feel that you're their mother, their daughter, their grandmother, and their wife, or their son, their father, their grandfather, or their dad, all in one, for example. So these specific vibrations are happening that way because we are our ancestors' return. We are our ancestors' representative on this plane of existence. And because we are our ancestors' representative, this is why the twins had to go through a certain stage in their life where they had to mold themselves to be strong for this hour, because the hour that is upon us is not just about the twins coming into union. It's about the twins being prepared for standing guard for the new earth, being transitioned like Christ consciousness. Is their Christ consciousness aware? Because you can be conscious but not cognitive. So now they're in a space of being cognitively aware. They're conscious, but then they get to that phase where they're cognitively aware now that this is my bride. And who is the bride? The divine feminine is the matriarchal bride. She is the return of Christ, the one that is to return without spots, without blemishes, which means that she has purged and purified from negativity, jealous, hatred, rage, and now there's no holes in her aura field, because we all have our aura field around us, right, in our chakras. Remember I told you about those holes, and when those holes are in the aura field, that means that's why you're angry, and that's why you're mad, and that's why you're upset, because you need healing. Those holes need to be patched up like old wounds from old timelines. So if you find yourself in a place where you're still angry with your twin, that means that there's more work for you to do. If you find yourself to where you're very impatient with your twin and you don't want to wait for them, and you're just saying, fine, I'm just going to replace my twin and I'm just going to get a soulmate, then even if you got a soulmate, remember soulmates are lessons, and then you're still prolonging your union even that much more, because what the divine spirit of life is showing you is that the reason that your twin is not around you in the first place is because there is something that is so special about you and so beautiful about you and so grand about you that you have to be able to know thyself. You have to know what triggers you. You have to know what angers you. You have to know how to act. You have to know how to react. You have to know what not to act and react to. But that's only going to come from a space of knowledge of self. That's only going to come from a time of being able to sit within yourself. And then even sitting within yourself, there's a grounding and there's a balance within yourself. And especially if you're already a mother or you're already a father. If you're already a mother, it's not just about you being balanced within yourself, but you also have your children. And one of the things, major things that Spirit shared with me, even on my journey, is there will be no union whatsoever until you make things right with your children. If you find yourself in a place to where you're snapping at your children and you're angry with your children because you're mad because your twin didn't call you today, then that's more healing that you have to do. Your children, you have to find balance with them. You have to find balance within yourself. You also have to keep your place clean, you know, like all the time. You like, I clean all the time. I swear I clean all the time, but I'm always moving around too. So I have to move around, clean, move around, clean. And not only that, you have to keep in mind too that your angels love cleanliness. And when they say cleanliness is next to godliness, they are very, very, very right about that. Because if you have a basement or a garage and that garage is filled with junk and debris, there are shadow spirits, shadow beings that will hide in junk. They also like stench, smells. So if someone's stinking a lot and smells, that's like a demonic type of vibration. They don't like to clean or keep themselves clean. That's a demon. Demons don't like chimes. If you feel that, let's just say you're living with someone, you want to see if they're a demon, then you buy some chimes and put them outside of the front door. And when you put them outside of the front door, you're going to find that person, all of a sudden they're upset with you, or they're angry, or they may even take them down. I've had incidents where I purchased chimes within my life and to test this, and the chimes were taken down, or the chimes, they disappeared. But keep in mind that not all demons are bad demons. So when some of you hear like, well, what do you mean demon? First of all, that's something within yourself that you have to check, because you still have no knowledge of self. Because so many of us are in this position to where we don't even have knowledge of self. And when someone mentions demon or magic or something outside of you that's not conducive to what you've been indoctrinated to be, believe has light in the middle of it, because you have been doctrined to be safe in your little boxes. When someone opens Pandora's box, then, which is a planet, by the way, when someone opens Pandora's box, I'm speaking in layman's term, the way that you know it, Pandora's box is a planet. But let's just say someone opens Pandora's box. They open up this box of taking you out of your comfort zone. And now all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, why are you saying that word? I'm not comfortable. But if you just stop, and don't be so quick to judge everyone all the time. Stop and see what it is that why am I having this experience? What am I to learn from this? And then if someone is spending their time on talking about someone versus building up someone, that should be a red flag. What's going on with you that you even have time to entertain something like that? The only time that you should be making is time to spend time on vibrations that are helping to uplift you, to help build you, to help you grow, to help you look within yourself, to help you raise your vibration, to help you master your manifestation powers. We're living in the hour right now to where people are working harder. They're getting 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 jobs. No, we were told to work smarter, not harder. But the best way for you to work smarter is to learn how to be a master manifester. And being a master manifester is learning what it is that you know about yourself. What do you like? What do you like to do? You know, what makes you happy? What makes you joyful? What makes you smile? What are you grateful for? And if you begin to focus on gratitude, that was one of the things that I did, was gratitude. And so many of you, I only shared a fraction of my story with you, but if you even remotely knew the things that I've had to go through, y'all, just remotely knew just a portion of the things I've had to go through, y'all would be like, how the hell are you alive? And I don't focus on the things that has happened. I look at it like I'm grateful for the things that have happened, because now I'm able to come back to you to share my experience with you and to help you in some way, shape, or form. And no matter what it looks like, in all things, always find some type of gratitude. Even if it's, like this channel's based off of love, and love is the ultimate vibration that I have found on the planet. And that's why they say God is love. And that's why we are, our own divine energetic beings. And remember, energy does not die. We're the ones that created death. There's really no such thing as death. We're the one that gave our life and our time frame a time. How? Because your body is a vehicle. Your body is your transportation. It's taking you to and from where it is that you need to go in life. We're in a time right now to where we're in an energy field to where you shouldn't even be aging right now. You should not be aging. As a matter of fact, your age should be reversing. And that's how you can really tell when someone's even more tapped in, because you can just begin to look at them and watch them and their age is reversing. And your organs are in a place where you can recalibrate your organs right now. You can heal yourself. Try not to tap more into the spookness of everything. Focus, like when you, even if you see a title of a video and someone's talking about someone else, ask yourself, what is it about me that's drawing me to even want to listen to drama or gossip? I have my own problems, my own worries, or my own situations. I don't say problems, but say I have my own, because nothing's a problem. Everything's an opportunity. All challenges are opportunities to prove your greatness. Remember that, okay? And know that everything that you put your mind to accomplish, you're gonna manifest it. Even if you focus on the fact that you really want your beloved in your life, and damn them, where the hell are they? You have to think about, because you're focusing on the fact that they're not there, you're creating it and you're causing them not to be there. And my love for everyone that's in my life, everyone that I've ever got a chance to meet, everyone that I've ever come across trails with, is I'm at a place to where I'm so content with myself. I'm so grateful for the things that I've been given in life. If y'all would even remotely seen what I've seen, from spaces of even staying in a homeless shelter, and they give you 2 weeks. You have to be out of that homeless shelter in 2 weeks. But yet I would use my gift to sing at this homeless shelter, and they would bring in children off of the streets in Hollywood, and I would sing for the group just to buy myself more time, in the homeless shelter, and they would let me stay longer. So in other words, don't take no for an answer. If there's a will, there's a way. And you're the one that is creating your reality. So if you're creating your reality and your reality is not what you want it to be, change it. Write about it. When you write, I always taught you, what is writing? Writing is spelling. Cast a spell on your life and spell it out. Write it out how you want it to go. They teach you this all the time. It's right in front of you. You don't even see it. You don't believe me? That's what a business plan is. They will tell you, you need to write an executive summary. You need to write down who is all in your business. That is your spell. That is your layman's plan for what it is your life is. Your trust. You have to write up your trust, your estate. You're the walking estate. What is your 5-year life plan? What do you see yourself in 3 years? Those are all hints and clues to you. That there were signs and there were angels around you the whole entire time helping you. But we were so busy and so focused on the things that we didn't have, we forgot to be grateful and recognize the things that we do have. And if you have children that are ungrateful, or even if you find yourself ungrateful, pull up a video of starving children in, I want to say Africa, but what I do want to say about Africa is there's a video called The Africa that they never showed you. That's what I want you to look up when they talk about Africa, because they really got Africa all jacked up, all mixed up. These specific locations I'm talking about, there's poverty everywhere. There's poverty all over the land. But when it comes to you in your life, poverty is a state of consciousness. And if you keep telling yourself, I'm broke, that's why you're broke. If you keep telling yourself, I don't have it, that's why you don't have it. You have to start getting into the habit, because I had to do this myself, is watch your affirmations and begin to tell yourself that I may not have it right now, but my check is in the mail, and as soon as I get my check, I'm gonna hit you up. And I started saying that all the time. And next you know, I looked up, every time I turned around, there was a check in the mail. So something as simple as that is tweaking your affirmations just a little bit. Something as simple as, instead of being upset with our divine masculines or our divine feminines and say, how dare they not be in my life right now? It's not on them. Don't you think if they're your twin, they're your ultimate counterpart, they're the love of your life. Do you not think for 1 second that your twin don't like you like that? That's not true. That is not true at all. Whoever told you that, wherever you got that wired in your head, no, that is not the case at all. What is happening is that you are being blocked from your union because the divine spirit of life finds you so sacred and so special that you need time out. You need to go sit in time out, and you need to go face that wall. And you need to go face the corners of your life until you realize that, until you accept that first within yourself, before you keep looking outside of yourself and putting your emotional needs and your emotional responsibility on someone else. It's not someone else's responsibility for someone else to realize or cause you to realize, look, you're in love with yourself, and you need to be in love with yourself. You need to practice love of self. You can't possibly practice love of self without realizing that you've been neglecting yourself. It's not your beloved. Your beloved is so in love with you. Do you not think that they don't want to be sitting next to you and going to bed and making love to you every night? You're 100% wrong. You have them all wrong. And I don't even know who your twin is, but I'm vouching for your twin right now. You got your twin all mixed up. You got your twin wrong, because what I know about the twin flame path is the twins are the most ultimate lovers. They are the most ultimate divine beings, sacred, oh my God. They're, the love that did you see that? The love that they have for each other is so breathtaking. I don't even have the words to describe the love of twin flames. And this is why so many people aren't even following this channel or channels of the twin flames, is because they weren't privy enough. They weren't chosen enough. They weren't lucky enough to be you. And you found yourself on a path like this, and to find yourself on a path like this, to be able to purge yourself and to heal yourself and to uplift yourself and to grow yourself and to build yourself and to stand in your autonomy and to find out who you are. How lucky are you? How many people get an opportunity in a lifetime like this? No one. Many have been called, yet few are chosen. And not only are you chosen, you're going to be chosen to stand on the obstacle course, to complain about what the obstacle course looks like. Are you kidding? If you were in the military, you know the sergeant would come behind you and say, move, soldier, get your butt on the move, soldier, now, get in that mud. And if you didn't get in that mud, a whole bunch of soldiers would come around you and push you in that mud. So that, when it comes to you being that soldier and pushed in that mud, this is why you have those slanderers around you, those backbiters around you, those gossipers around you, because they're pushing you in the mud to get on the obstacle course, to get over yourself and to get through the darn obstacle course so you can get it over with. You can stop repeating that same lesson, because we're all repeating lessons from past lifetime life cycles. Last lifetime, we were in the same exact mess. We're in the same exact situation as we are now. But now you've been given an ample opportunity to do it different this time. What are you going to do different besides complain? It's still the same exact complaint. It's just a different day. think on these things, everyone. I didn't want to stay too long. I just wanted to chime in for a minute and just show you some love. I gotta do some inserts for my book and finish my book, get my book out there. I have a publishing company that just picked me up from in Israel too. On top of that, so I'm like really excited about that. On top of my invention coming out, they're in the process of doing the actual markup creation of my invention right now. And then, of course, we have the Oracle coin that is being introduced to the entire cryptocurrency, digital currency world. I'm super excited about that. And we have the Matters of the Heart conference coming up here in Chicago. Also, there's just, we have the Oracle card project also that's being worked on right now as well. There's so many opportunities around you. So when you say, and then, and then I'm going to flight school too. There's so many opportunities around you. So when you say, I'm only going to do like, what should I be? What's the one thing I should do? First of all, don't ever look outside of you. Look within, write that list and ask yourself, what do I want to do? Like, what will really make me happy? And you make yourself happy by doing what it is that you know that you want to do. And it's not limitations on anything. Stop limiting yourself. Stop saying I can only do one thing and I only have time for one thing. The only thing that I will say is this: if you find yourself in positions where you're like, man, I have to work 2 and 3 jobs. When I get off from work, I'm just too tired to start my own business. I'm too tired to start my YouTube channel. I'm too tired to work on myself. It's because of your diet. Try to switch to more of a plant-based diet, okay? And that should help you with your energy at least. And also watch that coffee. Coffee damages your aura field. And it takes 3 days for you to get back up your chakras, get back up your energy field, okay? And then alcohol. I used to, trust me, y'all, I used to be like, I needed my glass of wine, I needed my cigars, I needed my weed. And now I am the entire vibrational makeup of me, 100% holistically, pure, clean, unindoctrinated, without any drugs, any alcohol, any type of substances. I don't even drink coffee. I used to drink tea. I noticed I even slowed down on the tea. I just drink water and breathe. Breathing is another thing too. Just breathe. Spend time with your children. Like I told you, find that balance within your children. Keep your places clean, y'all. You're gonna notice a difference when you see your places clean, okay? When you wake up every morning, make your bed up. Just do your best to put positive affirmations around yourself. Do your best to stay away from negative people, places, and things. Anything that's not helping you, watch chakra balancing videos, listen to jazz, binary beats, tones, frequencies, listen to water, go by the water. Oh, you want to know what the hospital is right now? Nature. If you really find yourself where you cannot make it through the day, get outside. Get your feet on the ground, the soles of your feet. Take your shoes off, okay? It's a matter of fact, we're not even supposed to be wearing shoes, all right? So they start making shoes for us because they start realizing that people were tapped into their powers. So this is your opportunity to even ground into the earth. Find yourself in a position to stop complaining, and you will watch your life change before your very eyes. What is it that you want? Make your vision boards. I have a vision video on my channel. For those of you who seen the vision video, and now, did you guys see that vision video, by the way? I made that vision video in 2010, right? And on the vision video, I put on there that I was going to be a stock market master. And at the time, I was just talking about learning the stock market because I've always been interested in the stock market and to learn, how to invest. Do I invest in gold? I even tried to invest in some gold and some diamonds and some gas at one point in time. And I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I ended up pulling my money back and, end up, investing again, pulling back, investing, pulling back. But this video was made in 2010. It was my vision board video. Like I make vision boards, but when I put it in a video, vision board videos are helping you to see it visually. And this is why you even have to watch the movies that you watch and the games that you play, because you're going to create that. But it says in the video that I'm a stock market master. I am literally a stock market master. My number on the stock market is AHKL. AKHL or AKHL. AHKL. That's my stock market numbers for me on the stock market. And I'm like, wow, there is no limits. There is no limits at all. And don't limit yourself, and stop being so hard on yourself, okay? Don't be so hard on yourself. Even if you're not in union right now, I know you miss your baby. I know you do. I know y'all, you think you miss your baby? Y'all have no clue what to be someone who's in a position to hold this mic, to share my life with you, to share my story, my journey with you. You have no idea what it was like for me on my journey to go through a false twin flame relationship, to leave a soulmate who was the I call him one of my ultimate soulmates. He was so cool, everyone. Like he was everything, besides a few things here and there. He was everything that, a girl could ever want. I mean, talk about someone catering to you hand and foot and spoiling the hell out of you, and cooking for you, making sure that you're always good, taking you shopping all the time, making sure that you're just spoiled. I mean, just spoil the hell out of me. But when Spirit told me it's time to go, that this was right after I met my twin. Spirit, well, actually a little bit before I met my twin, Spirit was already letting me that it was going to be time to go soon. And then I met my real twin. And when I met my real twin, that's when Spirit told me, okay, now it's time for you to go. And it was so disheartening to see someone hurt like that over me, who I knew really, really, really loved me. So, and to this day still loves me, and to this day still lives in the same house. Like, Nubian's coming home, and it's like, I even remember when I was stuck going back and forth between my false twin and my soulmate. My soulmate, even till this second, it's weird for me to even try to describe this to you, because the best way I can put it is, it feels like you stepped back inside of a time bubble. Like, you stepped back in time, like you were inside of a portal, and like in the Matrix with Neo. That's what it felt like. That's exactly what it felt like. You remember how Neo was able to jack in and jack out of the Matrix? It was like I was jacking in the Matrix just to go in the bubble to check on him. And it's like he was stuck in this bubble. And it felt so weird to me, because I was like there, but I was suspended in this stillness. And there was this energy around of, I could feel the fear in the land. I could feel the fear of the people. I could feel it was weird, y'all. I can't even explain this. All this stuff is going to be in my book though, so I don't even want to give you just part of the story right now. But and that's probably what many of you are experiencing yourself. You're if you notice, you go around certain family members, you can actually feel the time zone. There's different time zones that we're all in, different shifts within the portal. Even where I'm at now, and when I go visit separate places I used to live, or even pass by, it feels very weird. I even passed by my twin's house the other day, and it just felt very weird. Like it's like you're streaming through a time zone. And when you're tapped in, you're tapped in, and we're all tapped in right now. And that's why you're picking up the energies, and that's why you're feeling the way that you are. But I want you to really tap in now. I don't want you to look outside of yourself for the help that you're looking for. I want you to start getting this, okay? Because it's like I said, meditations is a new trend. The tarot card readers, the astrologers, They're going to take the place of the doctors. They're going to take the place of the psychologists. They're going to take the place of the attorneys. Attorneys are coming to them. Judges are coming to them for help. Lawyers are coming to them for help. Every single person on the planet, especially the ones that are, high up, and being able to not just so much read the cards, but able to channel the cards. The cards are great, don't get me wrong, but we are the cards. We are the ultimate vine that is directly connected into the divine spirit of life. So y'all about to see something that's gonna come over the land. But I don't want y'all to be scared. Even what I was telling you about the lights that are going to start shooting out. Well, you're seeing that now. So when you see, they say the solar flares, and even in Australia, there was like a bunch of solar flares. Like if you I forgot when this was, a year or 2 years ago, just solar flares were flying out of the sky. They fly out the sky all the time. But I mean, to the point to where there's a bunch of balls, just like somebody dropping fireballs out the sky. Those are not solar flares, y'all. Those are electronic. That's the best way I can explain it. Those are electronic beings, electronic balls of energy that are not here for nothing nice at all. Let me put it like this. The world is a smorgasbord. Did you hear me? A smorgasbord for these things that are dropping. And if you have pus and blood in your system, the light, the energy that is radiating from these things, that's what is going to burn you from the inside. Even zombies, right? Most zombies are blind, but they'll be able to see you by smelling pus and blood in you, okay? So this is why I share with you, it's so important for you to even watch your diets. Make sure that your diet is not killing you. But there comes a time where you do have to discipline yourself. And if you've been warned, you may hear people say, well, eating meat is wrong. I mean, eating meat is fine if you have a little bit of meat. If that's what you're led to do, that's what you're led to do. You seek your guides, you seek your angels about your diet, what suits you best. But as far as me and my vibration, me and my mission, I have a grand respect for the astrological wheel, which are showing you all the animals along the constellation. And if all the animals are your signs, then how are you walking through the forest, eating the breadcrumbs up and eating your signs? How are you going to find your way home within yourself? So, and then not only that, like I always share with you, if there's a bunch of birds that are flying over your head, when there is danger, if you've seen it in any movie, you've always seen the birds just take off flying, right? And everyone's looking like, where the birds are going? Well, the birds are like it was with Snow White. They're not going to tell you jack diddly. They're going to be like, you're going to eat us if we tell you where we're going. So we're not telling you nothing. So, but those that are intuitively tapped in, they already know that the animals are sacred. Like, it was funny because I was talking to one of my friends today, and every time, I love it because every time I talk to her, she's talking to rabbits, she's talking to deers, she's talking to birds. There's a raccoon that went in her trash can, and she was like, hey, excuse me, Mr. Raccoon, can you not make a mess in that trash, and can you get out of there? So he gets out of the trash can and steps on top of the trash can and just stares at her. And she's like, well, can you not make a mess too? And like the raccoon takes off. Like, we have connections like that to the animals. And I remember even, I remember a time even when I was locked up, when I was in jail, and there was this bar that you go outside, like this little courtyard. And when I was locked up, I would look outside of the gate, and I would see the birds, and I would say, hey, little birdie, can you like go talk to the angels and go talk to God and tell them to let me out? And I would, every time I saw a bird, I would say that. And I kid you not, y'all, like, it must have been like less than like 7 days or something like that I got out. And it was very deep because that was the first time too a shaman came, and he had this big eagle feather, and he was saging. That's the first time that I ever ran across sage. And I was like, this is really cool. I love this. And then every single time after I got out of jail, when I was fighting my case, I would head to court. And as I was heading to court, I would drive along this long path around the for those of you who've been in Montana, I would drive, there's this long, like all the paths are long to get around you know, the mountains. And I lived up in this one part of the mountain where I would have to drive around the mountain to get into the city. And I kid you not, and my soulmate was with me every time that I went to court too, because he always flew into Montana every 10 days when I went to court. And there was an eagle, that these eagles would always follow my truck. And I would look up, and it's like these eagles would guide me to court every single time. These eagles were always with me. And it never failed. Every single time I went to court, eagles always guided me to court every single time. And it was like my ancestors' way of showing me, you know, we got you, you good, you know, we're here with you, you know, don't worry, you good. You know, this is something that these people are going to have to pay homage for. This is something that they have done. And many of us know that we are on a very sacred path. Even at the time where when my situation happened, mine came about through a dream. I was ancestrally guided to basically end up where I was at. And then when things happened to me, um, that caused my court case, I was very upset with my angels, upset with my guys. Like, how the hell y'all set me up? Like, I was so mad. Like, what the hell is this? Like, this is a setup. Like, y'all not my angels, y'all not my guys. Like, what the hell is this? And just the way that they played everything out, like, it's just, I'm gonna write more about it. The book that's coming out about it is called the Jakia Ford Story. There's a clip of the song about it. It's called The Whippersnapper right now. If you look on there, I have a YouTube page. It's the Jakia Ford page, the Jakia Ford. It's called Jakia Ford or something like that. If you look on Scribe, Scribe actually has the story already out. For those of you who don't want to wait for the book, there's actually a two-part story about what happened. So there's a lot of things that I have going on that are coming out, but I don't know where I get all this energy from. I love the fact that I have all this energy, and I love the fact that all my energy is natural. I'm naturally goofy. I'm naturally playful. I'm naturally loving. I'm naturally mothering. I'm always trying to do things to give back and to take my energy to help you in some way, shape, or form, because I want you to know that you're not the only one that is going through what you're going through. I've walked your shoes. I've been in your shoes, and this is why I open myself up and I share so much of my life with you, because I was born for this. Everything that I do, I was DNA coded for this. I know you have heard people say, don't tell nobody your business, keep your business to yourself. And my thing is, I was not given that right to keep my business to myself, because you are my business. And by me keeping my business to myself, you would never know anything about me. You would never hear my story. You would never know that what I've been through, the path that I had to walk down to get where I'm at, you know, and still climbing mountains with bliss. And even during the times where I was going through my trials, I've always been a soldier. Like, okay, what's next? Because I've always known that there was a higher power or something that was very sacred that was always watching out for me, always looking out for me. And no matter what happened in my life, I've always known that, you know, no matter what it looked like, I was going to be good. And the same thing with you. You have to know that you're going to be good. Even though I don't have any type of religion, you know, I have an automatic instinct to know that even me being put in a position to be able to study all religions, to be able to give back to you, to have a channel where it's not just Nubian based, but it's a channel that is based for new beings, to be able to attract every nationality, culture, race, creed, vibration to this channel. Why? Because spirit is invisible. That's the 11 vibration. And then look, we're all on that 1111 vibration, which is the doorways, which is the portals, which is the yin and yang, you know, which is the I Ching, which is a higher self, which is a lower self, which is darkness and light, which is good and bad, which is the balance. And this is very deep to be on the world stage, but it's like my thing is when you're given an opportunity, because each and every one of us will always be given 15 seconds of fame. We've heard of that. But when you get your 15 seconds of fame, what are you going to do with that fame? And I've chosen to do everything in my power every chance I get my 15 seconds of fame, because it's not just 15 seconds anymore, it's a lifetime for me. When you get your 15 seconds of fame, what message will you give the world? And that should be your focus next. If I get my 15 seconds of fame right now, what can I share with the world? And you don't have to be in a situation where, you're abundant, or, you're wealthy, just what's the grandest part of your story? The grandest part of your story is you. The grandest part of my story, I tell people, yeah, I've been to jail. Yeah, I've been homeless. Yeah, I've been a stripper. Yeah, I've been on drugs. Yeah, I've been, in situations where I've been raped. I've been hurt, harmed, and injured. But did I stay there? That's the question. Did I lay down? Did I take it laying down? No. I knew I had to fight and I had to get up, because statistics said that I was going to die there. Statistics said that I was not going to make it. Statistics said that I'm an Indian woman, and my tribe of people are dying off, and I don't have a voice. Statistics say that I'm black. That's not true. I'm very, very, very Cherokee, and very, very proud of my culture, and very, very mixed with a few, Puerto Rican bloodlines, but I stick to my Indian tradition, my Nubian tradition, which is not even liking to link myself to any type of nationality, culture, or creed, but linking myself to the spiritual realm, because even after all my skin is peeled off, what is deep, what's inside of me? What do you see inside of me? What is my vibration? And I could be the most beautiful woman in the world. I could be the most ugliest woman in the world. But even if I was the most ugliest woman in the world, ugly is a vibration. And I don't rock with that vibration. I rock with who I am. And who I am is being able to share myself with you authentically. And now we're living in a time too, to where you can't lie to people no more. If you're full of shit, people are going to look right through you, and they'll be able to see that. So even in myself, like I don't want to live a lie. And if I have to live a lie, and if I have to lie to you, then I don't even want to do this journey. It's just not right. So I just give thanks to my ancestors for putting me on this path. I'm also the great great granddaughter of Major Taylor. For those of you who see bike trails all over America, um, all over the UK, there are bike trails. It says Major Taylor Trail this way. That's my great 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 grandfather, who started the United States Army's first transportation department via bicycle. Yeah, I have a pretty deep story, but it's mystery, which is my story, and history is his story. So when it comes to writing about your life, you pick up the pen and you tell your story. All right. So I just wanted to chime in for a second. I've been on a little longer than I wanted to, but I love each and every one of you. And even if that electric grid shuts down and y'all never, ever, ever get to turn on another cell phone ever again, and everyone's like, oh, what the hell? Then at least I use my 15 seconds of fame to warn you. Don't be afraid, y'all. Don't be afraid of no type of energetic beings that are coming to stare you in the face and look at you and scare the living crap out of you. It comes a time where you have to recognize your power. It comes a time where you have to recognize that you are empowered to stand there and face any demon on the planet. I don't give a darn how evil and ugly that demon is, but you have to get to a point in your life where you have to say, you know what? Not today, demon. Not today. This is my grounds, my territory, and I say you bow down to me. You don't have permission to even run and rule over here. No. So when you get to that place of self-empowerment and to begin to know that fear really is false evidence appearing real. That's outside of you. You're far much more powerful than you know, and you have to really start giving yourself more credit than that. All right, and know that you're very powerful beings, and that you are loved. Why? Because you love yourself, and because you love yourself, you recognize that you deserve love. So that's what's up, y'all. All right, just wanted to share. I'm gonna chime off now. So have a beautiful night. I'm about to go and get some more of my projects done. I want to do some inserts in my book, as well as I feel a little song in my heart, so I'm gonna write about it, and hopefully I'll be able to share it with you very shortly. All right, you're welcome, beloved. Good night, everyone.